Hello and welcome. I'm so glad you could join us today. I hope you are having a wonderful day. If it is a character building day, I will make it as awesome as it should be. You are listening to the Motivation Monday Power Hour. I am your host, Motivated Mike. Today's topic is gym motivation. Now, what do I know about the gym? Well, you probably see me at the gym about 4 to 6 days a week. If you go to our gym, look for me. I'm the one with the Donald Pump shirt on, trying to bench press 300 plus pounds. Quite exciting. So I want to start off by telling you a little story. So I was watching TV the other day, and I saw an advertisement. They sure aren't the same as when Billy Mays was alive, though. Let me tell you that. When he would go on, he would say, "Billy Mays here with this awesome new product." Now, what if we could reinvent ourselves as an awesome new product? Give ourselves a new life and a new perspective on things. That's what we're going to talk about today. How do we get motivated to go to the gym? How do we reinvent ourselves? And in these TV ads, another interesting point, they always say, you can demand a refund if it doesn't work. If in 30 days it doesn't work, come back and we'll give you your money back, we'll give you your shipping back, we'll give you everything back. Now, what if your workout, if it doesn't work, how many of us have demanded our money back from ourselves? How many of us have looked in the mirror after not getting those gangs and said that we let us down? It was our fault. We let ourselves down. How many of us reinvent ourselves with a new plan? And how many of us follow through with that new plan and stick to it? You gotta demand a refund from yourself if it's not working. You let you down. Don't tell me you're really trying if you're not even breaking a sweat at the gym. You gotta work hard for it. When I do abs, people tell me I have great abs. When I do abs, they ask me, what's the secret? How do you get such fantastic abs? And you know what I say? I don't count the reps until it starts to hurt. It's only then that it'll count. If your sit-ups, if your repetitions aren't discomforting, you're not trying hard enough. Don't count the rep until it starts to hurt, because that's when it really counts. This is an interesting thing that I like to do. I like to go and meditate in the graveyard sometimes. And sometimes I'm there for hours. And you know what I realized one day? The people there, if they were alive, would love to be where you are right now. Some people, they never got their chance to reach their dreams. They never found their purpose in life. They never made it to that stage. But you have the opportunity to do that right now and today. My cousin is a nurse, and she helps people every day who would love to be where you are now. People who are dying. People who see the value of taking care of themselves but saw it too late in life. Have you ever realized that? Let me say it again. You are dying. You gotta get up and make a move. Make your dreams happen sooner rather than later. And if you want to get that in-shape body, do it today. Don't wait till tomorrow. Start today. And some of us, we just don't know what program to use, and I understand that. I mean, there is no one fitness program for everyone. What I would recommend is just going there, giving a workout a shot. If it doesn't work, you can change it. You can talk to fitness experts. You can go on YouTube. There's a lot of people who review fitness programs. Just give it a shot, and you'll be surprised at how well it goes after you get it going. But yes, always have a plan and always be willing to change your plan if it doesn't work. When I was at the gym, when I first started this year, I had a plan, And what I was doing was I was working out the lower body and the upper body and just switching between those 2 days simultaneously. But my plan, it wasn't working. I wasn't seeing as many gangs as I wanted to see. So you know what I did? I identified what was wrong with it. And what I think was wrong with it was that I didn't have enough days of rest. So instead, and now I'm trying a different workout routine. Now I'm trying a push day, a pull day, and a leg day. So in the push day, I just generally start out with some bench pressing, most awesome of exercises, and do things that require pushing. Then in my pull day, just do things that require pulling. Just do some deadlifts, do some other things. And in my leg day, that's when I do the squats. The real stuff that's hard to get motivated for. I know how that works. I went to the gym to do leg day today, and quite the challenge getting me up in the morning. This brings me up to my next point. During my summer field session as a mining engineer, I had the joy of learning how to do surveying. Every small mistake adds up in surveying. If you are a degree off, your point is going to be off by feet. And it's going to be terrible when you go and look at the data and map the data. And it was really annoying going back to the lab, looking at my data points and realizing that they don't match up. My points were always off. And in surveying, that's just life. Everything is always off by at least a little bit, even the experts. But when things don't work, you know what's amazing about surveying? When the loop doesn't close, it's usually because one of your angles is only 1 degree off. Now what a great philosophy. When all hell is breaking loose, you must realize that you are only 1 degree off. That's all it takes. That's the difference between good and great, is just that one little mistake. And if you fix that, everything is going to go perfectly in line, including your workouts. If you fix that one little thing, it might be that you're missing a muscle. It might be that maybe your workout, you need another day of rest. If you do one little thing, you can make your workout phenomenal, and you won't believe the results that can happen. But most of us, when things go wrong, we give up. We don't have the persistence to keep going in life. But you got to look for that one little thing, change that one little thing, and then you'll be doing just fine. Whether it's surveying or working out, maybe even golf even. If you take a golf swing and the ball lands far from where you were hoping it would land, it's usually because your swing is just 1 degree off. Whatever it is, you can change it. Now what happens when I fail to increase my bench press? I try that bench press again. Now, I know, my max bench, I'm trying to reach 365 recently. But I keep failing at it. I've failed 4 times at it. But it's alright, because I am going to try another day. I am going to be persistent. Oh, and be sure to use a spotter too when you bench. I always get in trouble for that at the gym. You always have the person at the front desk yelling at me, "Why didn't you use a spotter? You almost died right there." And I never like to use a spotter. Usually I like to roll the weights, you know me. Gotta take those risks though. You gotta enjoy what you do. Now keep in mind though, it took Arnold Schwarzenegger 11 attempts before he hit that 500-pound bench press. Can you imagine how good it must have felt when he finally got that 500-pound bench press? It must have been phenomenal. He just tried and tried and tried again until he finally got it. And that's how you got to do it. That's how you have to manage your workouts. You can't give up. You got to be persistent. You got to persevere through it. And I know that we have a lot of reasons why we do not go to the gym. There's always multiple excuses. There's always so many excuses. I've heard them all. I mean, I've tried to get my mom to work out with me. It's not an easy job. I've heard absolutely every excuse in the book. Probably one of my first ones that I've heard was some people might say that working out 6 days a week is unhealthy. Have you ever heard that logic? It's just so ridiculous. But you know what's unhealthy? Doing nothing. That's unhealthy. Sitting in front of a computer screen all day, every day, that's unhealthy. That dilutes your mind. You must have time that you devote to developing your body. It's just as important as time spent developing your mind. But you must use it. You must go out there. You must lift. You must go for a jog. Whatever it takes to keep you feeling young, keep you feeling active, and keep you healthy. Now, some people say, oh, but it's too risky. Lifting is too risky. Have you ever heard this excuse? It's always too risky. Now, there's a quote that I use here that I heard from, I believe it was Les Brown that I've heard this from. Sorry, we're getting a phone call here in the studio. I'm going to try and keep going here. And if you don't take risks, you will not grow. If you do not grow, you will not become the best you can be. If you cannot become the best you can be, you will not be happy. If you are happy, what else? If you are not happy, what else is there? I want you to think about that for a minute. If you never take any risks, you will never have the opportunities in life to grow. But that growth, that's what's so fundamental about it. You need that growth in order to feel fulfilled and happy. There are people who run Fortune 500 companies who aren't happy because they don't grow. They don't have the opportunity. They can't keep growing in life. They don't have the opportunities. You must take risks if you want to grow. Probably the most common excuse, but I'm too tired to lift. I'm so exhausted. How can I get the energy to lift? If you make it the habit of going to the gym, you will be able to lift. You will make the time. You will make the energy. The other day I saw a gentleman, and he was wearing a cast, and he was still in the gym lifting. Let me tell you how amazing that is. Even though he was tired, he probably had so many excuses not to come. Sorry about that. Is that phone still ringing? All right. He probably had so many excuses not to come, and yet he still had the drive and the motivation. And you can't honestly tell me that if that man over there can't find the energy and motivation to go to the gym, that you can't either. You have the energy. You just have to find it. And you have the time, but you just have to find it. I mean, I go to mines, the Colorado School of Mines. It is one heck of an engineering school, but it just drains you for time. All the assignments, all the clubs, all the activities, all the partying. Let's be honest, we all like to party sometimes. And I even had a part-time job, but I still found the time to lift. I still had an hour a day to work out and achieve a healthy body and mind. You can too. I mean, how many people do we know that watch TV for at least 3 to 5 hours a day or more, or play video games for at least 3 to 5 hours a day or more, and they can't bring themselves to spare one of those hours at the gym, or even 30 minutes. 30 minutes might be enough to achieve what you want to achieve. You just got to get there, and you got to work out. That's the trick to it. You got to do it every day, or at least most days. You can take a rest day, but you have to continuously do it. It's got to become habit. There's no other way that you can achieve your fitness goals. Eventually, after you cycle through all the excuses, you will find that the only thing keeping you from the gym, the only thing keeping you from getting the gangs, is your own negativity, your own laziness. Of course, there are a few exceptions. If you are injured and the doctor and therapists don't recommend working out, then you don't have to work out. I understand. Recover and live to fight another day, and you will make it back to that gym someday. You can do it. I believe in you. Another big part of fitness is the diet. Now, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't recommend taking advice from a mining engineer on how you should diet. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just going to tell you the system that I use to make sure that my diet is suiting me well. Now, keep in mind, I've read a lot of research on diet. There's a lot of different studies, a lot of people who have conflicting opinions about what you should eat. And I understand how confusing that is. I mean, it's ridiculous. So what do? I eat foods that make me feel energized after I eat them. What a simple process, right? But how many of us stop and just take a look and think about what we are eating, and then think about it a couple hours after we eat it, and ask ourselves, is this food giving us energy, or is it just draining us? Is it putting me to sleep? If you figure that out, you will know what food that you want in the mornings and what food that you'll want to eat in the evenings. It'll help you go to sleep at night. It'll help you give you the energy to work out. It'll do all these things, but it starts with observation. You have to sit back and watch and learn. For example, for me, when I eat pasta and oatmeal, I get a lot of energy. I just experience the energy throughout the day. It keeps me feeling good. And then later in the evening, when I want to go to sleep, I eat potatoes or pizza. Those two, they just put me straight to sleep. They drain all my energy, and they make it really easy to just sit back and sleep. But let's get back to the big picture. Champions are not made in the gym. Champions are made from something they have deep inside them. A desire, a dream, a vision. This is one of my favorite quotes from Muhammad Ali. And it really just epitomizes how I feel about working out. The champions are not made in the gym. They are made from something deep inside them. A desire, a dream, and a vision. And get in the habit of going to the gym every day. And it does get easier with time, let me tell you. When I first started to work out, it was tough to bring me to the gym every day. It was just a nightmare. And of course, I still needed off days because I did have days that I was sore. I did have days that I just wasn't feeling well. And yes, I had days that sometimes I was hungover. I mean, that's life. And I understand how that goes. But you gotta go. You gotta make it a habit of going to the gym. There's no other way of doing it. You gotta get into the habit. And there are several things that annoy me about the gym at the Colorado School of Mines. I'll be honest. And if you're a beginner to the gym, you can count this as some fitness tips. Probably one of the biggest things that annoys me about the gym is the people doing the curls and the squat racks. It doesn't happen a whole lot, but when it does, it just pains me. Because when I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, oh, it's leg day, but I don't have a squat rack, and someone's doing curls in the squat rack, when they could literally be doing curls anywhere else in the gym, it just drives me up a wall. If the squat rack was meant for curls, it would be called the rest of the gym. Another thing, be sure to return the weights. Your mom does not work at the gym. You must return the weights to where you found them. And this is just a common courtesy thing. But be sure to return the weights to where you found them. I mean, it drives me crazy when I'm just sitting there and I can't find the weight, look for it forever, and then I realize, oh, somebody didn't put it away. It's sitting over there. It's been unused this whole time. It's like, what? What do you mean it's unused? So be sure to return the weights. This one's particular for our gym. But the front desk people telling me to use a spotter, that drives me insane. I've been lifting for almost a decade, and now I always hate using spotters. I like to get the adrenaline going, get a little sense of danger. Sometimes I have to roll the weight. Oh, they lose it when I have to roll the weight. There was one day that I was bench pressing 300 and I had to roll the weight, and I did it successfully. I survived. The person at the front desk was not happy. They were like, use the spotter or else I'm going to have to kick you out. And it's like, I've been lifting for so many years. Just let me lift. And eventually I did use a spotter, though. They talked me into it. And this is the next problem that I have with our gym, is that it's hard to find a bench pressing or squatting station. They're so limited in number. That drives me insane. That's enough of a rant, you know. But you got to maintain your health, and you got to maintain your health. I mean, it's essential. It keeps you going in life. And someday when you're 80, maybe you're lucky enough to live it to 100, you'll wish you could still move like you could in your 30s and 40s. And if you keep doing it every day, you'll be able to keep moving like you could in your 30s and 40s. Also, printed out some Center of Disease Control statistics here. And this one really drives me crazy. More than 1/3 of U.S. adults are obese. 36% of us, almost 37%, of us are obese, statistically in America. Can you imagine this? It just blows my mind. I mean, you must take better care of yourself. You must want to live. You must have the desire, or else you'll end up in the cemetery just like the people that I meditate next to, who just never got the chance to live their life and live their dreams. You must manage to make it happen. Here's another statistic. Obesity-related conditions, including heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and certain types of cancer, are some of the leading causes of preventable death. Just think about that. All of these diseases you can prevent by being healthy and going to the gym. That'll save you a lot of pain down the road. Here's the next statistic. The estimated annual medical cost of obesity in the United States was almost $150 billion in 2008, US dollars. The medical costs for people who are obese were $1,400 higher than those who are of normal weight. Now just think about this. Do you want to be unhealthy? Do you want to be the one that's on that medical bed begging nurses to help you when you could have prevented all your problems in the first place? Preventable is always better. If you can prevent your diseases from coming, you'll always be better in the long run. It's all like mining, where they have the equipment. In some of the mines, they cheap out on preventative maintenance. And what happens? The machines break down. And they're more difficult to fix when they break down inside the mine than they are if they're just at the workshop on the surface when they do preventative maintenance. I mean, our bodies are just like those machines. They require maintenance to remain usable for years to come. And if you take care of them, they'll take care of you. It's a very good thing to take care of yourself. And if you do, you'll also feel more confident in your day-to-day life. You'll have that confidence. You'll have the energy. You'll feel so much better, too. You won't believe it. And that confidence, maybe you need that confidence to ask out that love of your life that you wanted to ask out. You can make it today. It'll give you the confidence. And now I'd like to turn my attention to the book of the week. The book of the week this week is Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. And this book, I enjoyed this book. This was a great book. And in this book, he tells you how to unleash your power within, how to take control of your life, and how to shape your life. Tony Robbins, he's probably one of my favorite applied psychologists. It's a pretty long book, but it's worth the read. I recommend you go to your local library and ask them if they have this book. It is a great book. I truly enjoyed this book. One of my favorite topics in this book was when he talked about our attitudes. And he suggested that we can change our outlook on life by just changing the words that we use. Now this idea really blew me away. And I'll give you a few examples of this. In his book, he says to express the negative energy and emotions into better ones, more positive ones. For example, you didn't fail. You had a learning experience. You didn't fail. You were just getting educated. You didn't have fear. You were just curious. Things like that. You weren't humiliated. You were just uncomfortable and surprised. You don't hate it. You just prefer other things. You weren't irritated. You were stimulated. Things like this. This was probably one of my favorite ones here. You weren't depressed. You were calm before action. You're just not on top of it, but you're on the road to a turnaround. And he goes through a list of these, and they're quite amazing. You aren't lost. You're just searching. And once you take the effort to change your thoughts, to change the way that you think about the world, you will notice that you will become happier. You will become more fulfilled. You will feel so much better about the world. You're not overwhelmed. You just maximized your opportunities. Things aren't painful right now. They're uncomfortable, but they're getting better. Things aren't terrible. They're just different. You're getting used to them. When you change your attitude, you will do better in life. And he also goes through positive emotions as well. You can take the positive emotions and make them even more. You can change your good words to great words to maximize how you feel. For example, you don't feel comfortable, you feel smashing. You don't feel all right, you feel superb. You feel energized. You don't feel cool, you feel outrageous. You don't feel curious, you feel fascinated. You don't feel determined, you feel unstoppable, on top of your game right now. You don't feel quick, you feel explosive. You don't feel resourceful, you feel brilliant. We can always take okay to the next level. And you got to realize that, you ask people how they're doing, and they say, "Oh, I'm okay. It's all right." No, it's not all right. It's perfect. It's energized. It's fantastic. It is spectacular. There are so many words that you can use. Phenomenal, incredible. You get the idea. You can go from just feeling okay to feeling outstanding, to feeling like you're on top of the world just by how you look at the world. Here's a couple more. Smart, you're not smart, you're gifted. Blessed, you don't feel blessed. You are thankful for the opportunity to be alive today. You are just ecstatic because of how well things are going. And that's why I recommend this book, Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. And that is my book of the week. And now, I would like to ask some questions to my co-producer. This is a fun little segment that we have. Always fun to ask ask my co-producer Daniel what is he doing today. So what are your fitness goals?
What are my fitness goals? I'd say...
Are you trying to lift heavy weights, or are you trying to live to 110?
I'd say more along the lines of living to 110. I'm not really in it for lifting the huge weights as much as just being able to stay active and keep moving.
Ah, good for you, good for you. Do you play any sports?
Not currently, no. I played some I Am Ultimate the other day.
Oh, Ultimate Frisbee.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Oh, that's fun. I never really got into Ultimate Frisbee, but it looks like a lot of fun.
I enjoy it.
I always tried to get into the intramurals, but I never really had the opportunity to. Finding a team was my excuse for that. I know, shame on me. Not mine. I like to do Taekwondo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm all about. Is we have this motto, and it's friends who kick together stick together.
That's good.
So if you ever need a new club to join, recommend the Taekwondo club. Yeah. Do you go to the gym very often?
I try to go to the gym at least 3 times a week.
3 times a week. That's pretty good.
Thanks.
Yeah, I know a lot of people, they get busy and then their life starts to fall apart. And they say, oh, I'll go to the gym next week.
Yeah.
Or the week after that, or maybe next month. And then, you know how that goes. That day never comes. But good for you for making it happen.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd like to get some running in there too, but I keep making excuses, so that has not happened for a while.
What's your excuse that keeps setting you back?
Usually my excuse is schoolwork.
Oh, that's schoolwork. What class is keeping you back? Now I'm curious.
What class? I don't know. It's a lot of classes together, but Chem Lab is a good one.
Oh, yeah.
That is.
I was bad at chemistry.
A good
I put in a lot of effort, and I passed it, but I was bad at chemistry. I saw you working on calculus over there, it looked like. And
yeah. That's not too bad, at least not yet.
I got to start reviewing that for the fundamentals of engineering exam, and not looking forward to it, but it's going to happen, though.
Yeah.
Got to pass that exam.
Good luck.
Thank you. Good luck with your fitness goals.
Thanks.
I'd like to ask you one more question.
All right.
I'll let you decide the topic for next week. Now I have 2 choices here. The first one is habits. Why do we do what we do? And also have the time to go into addiction. What makes an alcoholic keep drinking? It's not the flavor of the alcohol, I'll guarantee you that. It's habit. Habits and addiction. And also go into the habits of individuals and companies. What makes the habits of companies? What makes them successful? What makes other companies okay but not fantastic, not great? And I'll go into those habits. And the other topic that I could choose from, or that you could choose from, is happiness. How can we become happier? What makes us sad? And yeah, I'm just going to tell some stories and hopefully make you happier. So which topic do you think we should have for next week? Habits or happiness?
I'd like to hear about habits because I feel like understanding habits is part of happiness. And so it may help your talk the next week to already have that foundation of understanding habits.
All right, well, I already wrote the script for happiness. So you heard him, everyone. Next week's topic is going to be happiness. No, I'm just kidding. It'll be habits. Give it another week after that. It'll be happiness. I'll go over both of them. But the order of them is, it's an interesting topic. Habits, I love talking about habits. It's a fascinating topic to me. And I'll tell you more about it next week.
Awesome. I can't wait.
All right. I'm going to cut the show a little bit short. But the next show is on Monday at 4. The topic will be habits. If you missed any of the episodes or would like to hear them again, you can find them on YouTube. My channel name is Motivated Mike. Stay wise, my friends. Motivated Mike, out.